If you were my best friend and you came to me and said, Ivy, I want to get started in the gym, but I don't know how and it never sticks, this is exactly what I would tell you. The first and most important thing when it comes to starting in the gym and staying consistent is to start slowly. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they try to start out in the gym is they try to jump all into it all at once, and they go 5 times a week and they do workouts that they found online that they've never done before. And when you do that, that's not a routine that you can stick with, especially if it's not something you're used to. For example, start with going like 2 or 3 days a week, especially if the gym is somewhere that gives you a lot of anxiety and the thought of going just makes you very anxious, or it's something that you've never done before. It can be very intimidating. And so just going for 20 minutes to get used to being in that environment, as you get more comfortable with it, that's when you can start increasing how many days you go and the length of time that you go. The most important thing with the gym is consistency. Consistency is so much more important than complexity, and so just going again for a few minutes is going to help you and your body get used to this new addition to your routine that you are adding. The second tip is to figure out what time works best for you. So as you're going to the gym, slowly try and go on different times of those days and make sure you go on the same days of the week. So if you're gonna go for 2 days a week, maybe you go Tuesdays and Thursdays. For a few weeks, make sure you go to the gym Tuesdays and Thursdays, but then also try to go at different times of the day. For example, I have tried working out at 5:30 in the morning, during my lunch break around 11 or 12 p.m., or after work. Now, because of my 9 to 5, I do end up working out more often in the evening, but if I had to choose, 100% I would be working out during my lunch break around 11 or 12. For some reason, my body just loves that time of day for the gym. And so depending on your schedule and what that looks like, I would recommend trying to go in the morning, in the evening, or during your lunch break to see how your energy levels stay throughout the day. When I was working out at 5:30 in the morning, my body was depleted of its energy so much quicker, and by the time the end of the day came, I honestly just had no energy for anything. Whereas now when I work out in the evenings after work, I'm exhausted from work, but then when I go to the gym, it kind of brings my energy levels back up, and then by the time my energy levels fall again, it's time for bed. So that's what has worked best for me. So when you're starting out in the gym, I would recommend that you try to find the time that works best for you, your body, and your schedule. Once you figure out what time works best for you, I would recommend going on the same exact days moving forward. So as you start to increase how many days you go, if you're going on Tuesday, Thursday, after a few weeks, if you realize that working out on your lunch break is the best time for you, then I would make sure that I go Tuesday, Thursdays on my lunch break, but then add maybe a Friday or a Saturday. As long as you go same dates and times, your body's going to start to crave that movement, which will then help you continue going to the gym and stay consistent. Now, in the beginning, when you're starting slowly, I do recommend, especially if you are a very newbie in the gym, you've literally never stepped foot in a gym, it's going to be intimidating, and if you don't know what to do or where to start, just start with 20 or 30 minutes on a cardio machine, or maybe if they have a sauna, you go to the sauna during those 20 or 30 minutes. And as you get more comfortable with that environment, at some point you do need to start with a plan. So I do not recommend that you use any kind of TikTok or Instagram social media workout plan unless it's a long-term, like 4, 5, or 6 week workout plan that the influencer that you want to follow has released, preferably with a coach. For example, when I first started going to the gym back in 2018, I did use a ebook that an influencer that I followed created with a physical trainer. Now, because that physical trainer was hands-on in the ebook, the plan and the split of the ebook was based on the knowledge of a professional, whereas there are some influencers online that I find just release like, oh, this is the leg day I did today, and I find that a lot of people want to follow that same exact leg day. But in terms of growing muscle and staying consistent, doing random TikTok workouts is not going to help you get there. And I know that's really hard for a lot of people to hear because it can be a good way to start, but what I would recommend instead is for a few weeks doing the same workout to get you comfortable, and then eventually either investing or finding a free longer term workout plan that has been created with a physical trainer. And this can be like a push-pull split or full body split, but I do recommend that you do the same workouts each week for 4 to 6 weeks. That is actually what me and my coach do, and so I do know from actual experience that that is how you're going to gain muscle. So I just think, long story short, try your best not to follow the TikTok, Instagram workouts if you want to stay consistent in the gym and see results. Now, if you are really terrified of going alone, I do recommend that you bring a buddy, but not just any buddy. That sounded weird. I do recommend that you find someone that has the same schedule as you and that you can both keep accountable. For example, if you decide that you do want to go after work around 5 or 6 p.m., make sure that your buddy can also go at that date and time. Bringing a buddy is supposed to help bring you to the gym and keep you in the gym. If they can't go, we don't want that to be the reason that you're not going to the gym. That would be the complete opposite of what we want out of a gym buddy. So if you are gonna bring someone to the gym to help keep you accountable, just make sure that they also can go at those same dates and times. Now, if they can, but maybe they get sick or they have a vacation, that doesn't mean that you stop going to the gym. At that point, I would recommend to see if you have another person in your life, family member, friend, or work colleague that can maybe go with you, just to help keep you accountable, especially when you're getting used to going to the gym in the beginning. At some point, your motivation is going to decrease or deplete completely, and you need to rely on that discipline and that routine to keep you going to the gym. Now, to make it a little bit fun, if you are musically inclined and music is something that speaks to your soul and just really gets your body moving, I would recommend that you make playlists, but not just a random like workout playlist. I recommend that you make playlists for the kinds of activities that you'll be doing. For example, I make a playlist for when I'm running. I have a lifting playlist that has a lot of just like hip hop and rap on there. It's a very different vibe than my running playlist. You can also make a stretching playlist so that if you're going to stretch and warm up before the gym, you can kind of prime your mind and your body for, okay, like this is the time that I'm going to stretch and warm up for my workout. And then when you go to lift, you can put your lifting playlist on, and then that kind of primes your mind and body as well. It's a very simple psychology trick that I feel works very, very well. Also, I call it a pre-game playlist, but you can also make a playlist to play in the car on your way to the gym, especially if you are going to be working out very early in the morning. If you want to get that energy going and you don't take pre-workout like myself, you know, sometimes you need to rely on external factors like music to get that energy up. You can even decorate the album covers to make them cute, or like the playlist covers, or you can like give them a cute name, and then you can even share those with your gym buddy and you can both add songs to the playlist and you can make it fun. Like the gym can be fun, and especially when you're starting out in the beginning, I recommend doing your very best to make the most fun out of it so that the gym becomes an enjoyable place and not a place that brings you anxiety and dread. In addition to that, I also recommend over time trying to find some cute and comfortable gym workout gear. So I have been working out at the gym for a little over 7 years now, and within those 7 years I have experienced a lot of different aesthetics when it comes to what I wear to the gym. So I have really seen them all, and at this point in my life I am really on the comfort side. So I do tend to wear like sweatpants on my upper body days, and on my like leg days, especially when it's really hot in my gym, I'll even wear like a baggy t-shirt because I don't like tight clothing on me, but that's just something that over time I have found to be very comfortable for me. And so when you're starting out in the gym, I do want you to make sure that you are going to the gym comfortable as well. If there is a color that makes you really, really happy, I would really recommend that you wear that color. For example, if you're like a pink girl, maybe you wear everything pink. Maybe your shoes are pink, your gym bag is pink. If you get wrist straps like myself, maybe those are pink. Mine are actually pink. Just finding little ways to romanticize the gym life, I think, is very underrated and can just make all the big difference. And if you're not a colors person, or if you're actually a very shy person, then I would recommend sticking in the neutrals route and just really, really focusing on the comfort side, because I understand that starting in the gym is so scary when you haven't done it. And I think a lot of gym people talk about it as if it's something that's very, very easy, you know, including myself because I've been doing it for such a long time. But if I think back to when I first started, I honestly just really wanted to focus on how do I get myself in the gym and on a consistent basis. And in doing so, I made sure that I was comfortable even walking through the doors. And doing that was by wearing something that made me comfortable comfortable. So just know that no matter if you are someone who wants to wear bright colors and tighter gym clothing, or if you're someone that wants to wear neutral colors and baggier clothing, both are okay as long as they get you to the gym and get you feeling comfortable enough to complete your workout and continue going in the future. Now, I think another thing that not a lot of people really talk about when it comes to starting in the gym is sometimes the gym is uncomfortable because that environment is the wrong environment for you. So when you're starting out in the gym, make sure that you do give that gym a trial period, whether they have an actual trial period for you, or if you mentally are like, okay, I'm gonna give this gym like 1, 2, maybe 3 months and see how I like it. Sometimes the gyms can have really bad peak hours at the times that you need to go, and you can't work out on any of the machines because everyone else is there at the same time. Or, you know, this is the reality, but sometimes there are older individuals or just certain individuals in general that can make you a little bit uncomfortable, and they might be staring at you in a way that makes your gut feel iffy and you can feel that something is wrong. And if that is the case, I do recommend that you look at alternative gyms. You do not need to stick to that one gym that you first chose. I understand that once you've been going to a gym for a certain period of time, it can make it a lot more comfortable, but at the same time, if that gym is not right for you, you do need to be aware of that and accept that and be okay with the thought of moving to a new gym. But if you find a gym that you really, really like and you don't get that uncomfortable feeling at all, one big thing to look for that I honestly think is the most important part of choosing the right gym and staying consistent in the gym is making sure that it's easily accessible to you. Make sure that your gym is not too far of a drive from your house or your work. Having a gym that's easily accessible makes it so much easier for you to be consistent, whether you go to the gym on your way to work, on your way home from work, or maybe you actually have a gym at your workplace, or if you're a college student, maybe you have a gym on campus. When I was in college, I utilized that on-campus gym so often. Now, they did have peak hours, and most gyms do have peak hours, so I would recommend that when you're in the beginning trying to figure out what times work best for you, make sure that that time that works best for you is not that gym's peak hour, and if it is, try to find another time that doesn't have a peak hour. I just hate going to the gym having my plan in mind, and I hate walking in and seeing all the people in there and realize, oh my god, this workout is going to take me like 2 hours to complete. I don't like that. So if you want to avoid that feeling, I highly recommend that you make sure that you can go at the non-peak hours. So back to when I said not to use the TikTok, Instagram like workouts. If you are to do that, again, it just needs to be like a 4, 5, or 6 week workout split. And the main reason why you want to do this is so that you can track your progress. If your goal is to either lose fat, gain muscle, like most gym people's intentions are, you want to make sure that you are increasing the amount of weight that you're lifting every week. And you can't do that if you're just going into the gym with this one TikTok workout in mind. And so make sure that you have a plan, and not only that you have that plan, but you're tracking your progress. And you can do this in your phone on like the notes app. You can make like a table with columns and the dates and the workouts and the weights you're doing. My coach and her friend also write it out in their notebook, so they bring a physical notebook and write it out. I have an app that I input the weight that I'm using and the sets and the reps, stuff like that, that my coach like pre-makes my plan with, but I keep track of the progress, and it's really important that you do as well. Even if you are doing the same weight one week to the next, maybe the third week you increase it by like half a pound. That is still increasing, and you want to make sure that you are doing that to reach your fitness goals, because again, if you don't have a plan and you're not tracking, your goals are going to be a lot harder to actually measure. With that, I do want to say that it is so important that when you are starting out in the gym, or I guess at any point in your gym journey, it is so important to focus on your form rather than the weight. Please, 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 especially if you've never worked with a coach or a fitness professional, do not try to lift hundreds of pounds if you've never done that before, or if you haven't worked on your form. It is just so important to focus on your form, especially in the beginning, because you can hurt yourself, and when you hurt yourself, then you're less likely to go to the gym because you physically can't go. So you want to make sure that you take care of yourself and you focus on your form. You don't try to ego lift. Don't worry about what the other people are doing or lifting. What's most important is what you're doing and that you're doing it correctly. Now, if you are concerned about, I don't know if my form is right, or this certain workout hurts, is it supposed to hurt in this way? If you can't afford it, I cannot talk about it enough how beneficial it has been to work with a coach. I have been working with my coach for over a year now. She's actually a friend of mine from college, but it has helped me so much with planning out my workout so I don't have to think about it. If there is a new workout that I've never done before, she can provide me additional assistance. Now, she is a virtual coach. She's not with me in person, but she can still help me in that way. And so if it's not feeling right, because sometimes, you know, our bodies are built very differently and the form for one person might be different than the form for another person. And so she's really helped me adjust my form per my body. For example, I have carpal tunnel, and so I can't do certain workouts because it'll trigger my carpal tunnel and my hands will literally do this and just get stuck. She has been able to make a plan that best suits my body. And also, just the education of working with a coach is so underrated. I have learned so much about the gym and health and nutrition, and I understand that working with a coach is expensive. So if you can do it even just for like 3 to 6 months, get the education, and then you can go off on your own. That's also something you can do as well. You do need to stick with a coach for a long period of time, but once you are ready, you can take that knowledge and run with it. My grandma actually started working out at the gym recently. She's in her 70s, and she did this exactly. She worked with a coach for I want to say like 6 to 8 months potentially, and then once she felt ready to start going to the gym on her own, she stopped working with that coach. They still are in contact, but she doesn't consistently work with that coach, and she's been able to go to the gym and track her nutrition and focus on her form and progressing in weight on her own because she had that leader in the beginning to teach her how to do that. So if you've never had that before, I would consider it. If you do have a coach at the gym that you're working out at, or if you want to find a coach online, I would recommend that as well. I can also recommend my coach down below. Last but not least, if you're really struggling with staying consistent in the gym and you just find yourself making excuses for why you can't go, I do recommend scheduling it in your calendar like it's an appointment, because it is. This is a time to prioritize yourself and your health and your mental well-being, and I promise when you prioritize yourself and give yourself that energy, it will be reflected in all of the different aspects of your life. If you are not someone that uses a calendar on your phone, I would recommend setting a reminder on your phone to go off at the same time every single day so that it can remind you in the moment to get up, get ready, and go to the gym. If you are someone that just sees the notification and, you know, skips it, bypasses it, and that won't work for you either, you can also ask another person to call you when you need to go to the gym and make sure that they do not hang up until you are physically in the car ready to go to the gym. Now, to make it a little bit easier, I would recommend that you try to go to the gym right after work or on your way to work. Avoid going home as much as possible. I myself do come home after work, but I'm very, very strict about I am not going to lay in my bed. I'm not going to go on my phone. I'm just going to change into my workout gear, hop right into the car to go straight to the gym. My roommates and my partner can definitely tell you that this is very accurate. I'm very, very strict, and because of that, over time, I've gotten used to that routine. So instead of sitting and doom scrolling on my phone for 30 minutes when I come home and then losing the energy and motivation to go to the gym, if I just come and I get dressed and I don't give myself any time to relax and I go straight to the gym, that's gonna get me there. The easiest thing to do is instead just bring your workout gear, bring your gym bag if you have one, and head straight to the gym from your workplace or from school so that you're more likely to go there, get it done, and then you can come home and relax. With all of this being said, when you're going to the gym, you need to remember that the most important thing at the end of the day is to get better 1% every day. So in the beginning, if you're only going to the gym for 20 minutes, but then the next week you're going for 25 minutes, that's still getting better. You're still increasing and improving, and you're working on yourself, and that's what's important. So focus on getting that 1% better every day, better than you were yesterday. And lastly, fall in love with the feeling of feeling healthy and prioritizing yourself and dedicating that time to yourself, because that is what's going to keep you going, and eventually your body is going to start to crave it. Fall in love with the process. Don't think of it as a punishment. Think of it as something that's going to add value to your life and to yourself and keep you healthy and happy. With all that being said, I do appreciate you for watching. If you learned anything, please like the video, comment down below if there's anything that maybe you've never thought of before, or if you're really excited to go to the gym, please comment down below. I'm so excited to see your journey of going to the gym, and I really just hope this helped you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you, and I will see you all for the next video.